On the inside, Butcher's Mate can't get a run. Around the outside, Rufus Youngblood. Right off the track is Gaelic Skipper and tracking in through Whitby Timer. But Westburn Grant goes for a sprint with 100 metres left to run. Flashing home is Gaelic Skipper. He's cutting Westburn Grant down. It's going to be close, and Gaelic Skipper is too good. Gaelic Skipper runs away, wins by a length and a half, Westburn Grant.
The sensational win by New Zealander Gaelic Skipper in Heat 5 on Wednesday night. Hello and welcome to Globe Derby Park and the final night of heats in the 49th Interdominion Pacing Championship. And for many horses, the last Chapel on top with 20 points, a point ahead of Whitby Timer, Jane Ellen and All a Dream. Rockley Victory, Westburn Grant and Gaelic Skipper all on 18 points. And the other horses looking to qualify for the grand final on Saturday night, 14 points Whitby Heritage and 13 Kylie's Hero. Now to Heat 7 over 2,645 metres, and some of the fancy runners on the front row. Number 1, Earth Station. 3, Riona Chief, the points leader. 4, Whitby Timer from Western Australia. And a driving change for number 5, Trunky Sting, to be driven by Fred Kersley, replacing Chris Lewis. And over the page, number 7, Jane Ellen pacing from inside the second row. And number 9, Bold Sharvid, to be driven by Maurice McKendry, replacing James Storman. Your commentator is George Grilicic.
Now the mobile moving off with the 7th heat over 2,645 metres, and this will be the distance of the final next week, and all runners are up on the gate. The outside runner on the front is Our Maestro. They're about to go, just over 3 laps to run the blue light, and getting away quickly, Whitby Timer. He's looking for the front and will cross Earth Station. Our Maestro's trapped very wide. Riona Chief has caught 3 wide, 2 going out of the straight. In behind them, Jane Ellen on the fence, followed by Quite Famous. And further back behind them, Bold Sharvid second last, and dropping out the last is Trunky Sting. They go into the back straight the first time, and it's Whitby Timer, the leader. Whitby Timer by a length and a half from Earth Station. And moving up, leading the outside horses, Butcher's Mate, Riona Chief still 3 wide, and Hancock caught in a trap. He's going forward now. A length and a half back behind him, Jane Ellen. Then ahead back on the outside, Quite Famous. 1.5 lengths, Bold Sharvid. A neck back on the inside, Trunky Sting, and Our Maestro's dropped out by 3 or 4 lengths now as they race off the back straight. Then Butcher's Mate, Trunky Sting second last on the rail, and a length off behind them, Bold Sharvid. Into the final lap they run, and it's Whitby Timer going strongly. Leads by half a length on Quite Famous. Earth Station back on the fence. Our Maestro 3 wide on the outside there. Off Riona Chief, the favourite. They were followed by Butcher's Mate, Trunky Sting, and Bold Sharvid from New Zealand's been taken to the outside. In the back straight, 600 metres to run. Whitby Timer given more rain, slips away by a length and a half on Quite Famous. Earth Station getting a run through on the inside. Riona Chief hooks 3 wide. The pressure's on. Jane Ellen goes up on the fence into a pocket, and Bold Sharvid's right off the track. 400 metres to run. Whitby Timer in front by just over length. Riona Chief knuckling down to the task. A length back Earth Station, and then running into the picture, Jane Ellen coming with a well-timed run. 3 lengths back, Butcher's Mate, Trunky Sting. Bold Sharvid can't go on. Quite Famous has dropped out. Whitby Timer almost joined by Riona Chief. Earth Station under the web, Jane Ellen flashing home. Riona Chief and Whitby Timer battling it out. Whitby Timer and Riona Chief and Earth Station on the inside, but Whitby Timer wins it. Wins by half a length. Earth Station possibly second in front of Riona Chief. 2 lengths Jane Ellen, then a couple of lengths further back, Butcher's Mate, Trunky Sting. A length and a half, Bold Sharvid, and 40 metres back behind them, Quite Famous, and just going past the post is Our Maestro. Whitby Timer giving a dogged exhibition over the 2,645 metre journey, and outstaying Riona Chief, who looked to possibly have a smash on the home turn. And the horse getting the run on the inside is Earth Station, driven by Trevor Warwick. In the gold colours on the outside, Jane Ellen didn't come on, and Whitby Timer scoring by half a length. And he will now challenge Westburn Grant for outright favouritism for the grand final. A marvellous performance by the West Australian 4-year-old, driven by Rod James. The 8th heat of the Interdominion, 2,645 metres. Rolliella, the outside runner on the front. Another Bart moving up in 5. And Bronski beat closer down to the fence. Rivoli Jack broke up. He's about 25 metres behind them. Blue Light, they're off and racing. Getting away very quickly from the outside, Rolliella with Bronski beat. Bronski beat has the speed to hold out. Rolliella past the judge's box the first time. Whitby Heritage third, then Screaming Eagle the rail. They were followed by Empire Fella 3 wide on the outside of Kylie's Hero. Then about 2 lengths further back, Westburn Grant. Rock Lily Jack the inside, another Bart is last. as they get the bell. The first quarter, the last mile, 32.7. So Kylie's Hero's getting Kylie's Hero leads by 3/4 of a length. Rockley Victory. Rolliella is third back on the inside. Then Empire Filler. They were followed by Bronski Beat. Then Whitby Heritage, and he's yet to go. And Westburn Grant, but he hooks wide now. Westburn Grant puts it a big run, but giving the lead of 15 or 20 metres. Around the turn they come. Kylie's Hero from Rockley Victory. Rolliella third on the inside. Whitby Heritage off the track, and Westburn Grant on the extreme outside. Westburn Grant is storming home, but Kylie's Hero's the leader. Whitby Heritage flashing home. Westburn Grant might make it, but Kylie's Hero's too good. Wins by a length. Whitby Heritage close for third between Rolliella on the inside, Westburn Grant the outside, then Rockley Victory. Then close up another Bart, followed by Empire Filler. Wide out Rivoli Jack. They were followed by Bronski Beat, and the last one home is Screaming Eagle. The New Zealander, Kylie's Hero, outstaying the opposition. McKendry drove a brilliant race. When Rockley Victory and Westburn Grant came from the back, he hooked out with Kylie's Hero, took the lead, and just using the reins and under the judge. And Kylie's Hero has easily held them at bay. Whitby Heritage has run a game race. It'll get into the grand final now, and it's very close for third. Westburn Grant on the outside, problematical whether it's got up to run third, but never looked likely to catch them in the home straight. All the honours with a tough New Zealander, Kylie's Hero, which ran third in last year's grand final in Perth.
A brilliant drive by Maurice McKendry. First, number 8, Kylie's Hero, starting at 4-1. Second, 2, Whitby Heritage at 8-1. And third, number 9, Westburn Grant, getting very costly for punters, 10-9 on and favourite. And another
by Gavin Lang. 1 lap to run, and it leads by a length and a half. Lord Alia second on the outside. A neck back on the fence, Table Card. They were followed by Highly Likely on the inside, then Cherokee Kid. West Ham has taken 3 wide, trying to make a run. Sneaking up on the inside is Artius, about 4 lengths further back behind him. Joseph Boppard, Glenfield Girl dropping out of it. And the last one is Baramac. In the back straight, 600 metres to run, and it's True Roman, the veteran, giving a bold exhibition. It's 2 lengths in front of Table Cart, 3/4 of a length on the outside, Lord Alias. West Ham making ground 3 wide. Highly Likely back on the fence, can't get out of the pocket. The length and a half further back behind him is Artius. Off the back, 350 left to go. True Roman's put 3 lengths in them. Table Card is second. West Ham still battling on out wide. And back on the inside, Highly Likely can't get a run. Lord Alias is still battling on. True Roman the leader with 200 to go. Table Card coming off the fence now, about to issue a challenge. Lord Alias next to wide out. Artius under the whip, and Highly Likely sneaking up on the inside. True Roman in front by a length and a half. Table Card on the outside. Flashing home as Artius, but True Roman will win it. True Roman wins by half a length, very close for second and third. Between Table Card and the centre, Artius out wide, Highly Likely fourth. Then a few lengths back, Lord Alias, followed further back by West Ham. A break in the field to Cherokee Kid, followed by Joseph Boppard. Second last is Baramac, and Glenfield Girl is the last one home. A magnificent performance by the veteran True Roman, who went to the front after about 500 metres after an early scrimmage, confidently driven by Gavin Lang. And Lang had to produce the whip in the closing stages, and True Roman has battled on. In the middle is Table Card, and wide out Artius was coming home best of anything. Highly Likely was trapped behind the leader for Ted Demler, but True Roman found the line and was able to hang on and win by half a length, and it's very close for second and third. A magnificent trotter, and this tops off his career, a win here in the South Australian Trotters Championship Grand Final.
The champion home, number 11, True Roman, starting at 7-10 in favourite, and beautifully driven by Gavin Lang. Second, number 2, Artius at 20-1, and third, number 10, Table Card, starting at 10-1. Now to Heat 9, the final heat of the Interdominion series, and some of the main chances on the front row. Number 2, Gaelic Skipper, a brilliant winner of his heat on Wednesday night, and 2 interesting runners, number 6, Thorate from the Hancock stable, and 7, Rebelor, drawn the inside of the back row, both on 15 points, and both will have to run well to make the final on Saturday night.
Almeida boys galloped in the score up. Thorate and Reba Lord both on 15 points in this division. They need to run right up near the front to get into the final. Oh, one galloped on the inside, National Image, but it's a start. Reba Lord got a bad check. He didn't gallop much. All a Dream also was slightly checked. The Almeida boys settled down 60 metres behind them. Thor Rate has flown out of the barrier looking for the lead. The Cornishman's under the whip in the middle, trying to keep it out. Now Victory's Phil is accelerating on the inside. But Hancock, in a desperate manoeuvre shortly after the start, has been able to get Thor Rate to the front from the extreme outside draw. Thor Rate leads by a length and a half. Victory's Phil second. 2.5 lengths back behind him, the Cornishman. The early pace was very fast. 2 lengths back, Rufus Youngblood. Then about 3 lengths, National Image. 2 lengths to Gaelic Skipper. A length and a half further back, All a Dream. And 2 lengths to Reba Lord, which is last of the main bunch. And there's about 50 metres back behind it to Almeida Boy. They're in Indian file, and Thor Rate is steadied by Hancock now. Leads by a length and 3/4 Victory Phil, and a length and a half the Cornishman. The same margin further back to Rufus Youngblood, with a length and a half back behind him, National Image. Gaelic Skipper is next, about to come off the rail, I feel. Then All a Dream, followed by Reba Lord. And tacking onto the back of the field is Almeida Boy, and will he come around him? Vin Knight, he's one wide, and he's going to make a run up round the outside. They're walking in front. Thor Rate comes to the judges' box now with 2 laps to run, and Hancock has got a lap full of horse. Leads by a length and a half. Victory's Phil, and a length and a half further back the Cornishman. Then Rufus Youngblood on the rails running fourth. Now moving off the rail, National Image, and immediately onto his back is the New Zealander, Gaelic Skipper. A length and a half to All a Dream. Same margin back, Reba Lord. Now Almeida Boy starts to put in the big strides round the outside, but he lost about 50 or 60 metres at the start. Down the back they go, and it's Thor Rate the leader by a length and 3/4 Victory's Phil. And they were followed in expedition then by Almeida Boy, which is sweeping up around the outside of the Cornishman, which is off the rails. Back on the inside, Rufus Youngblood. Reba Lord's gone up 3 wide round him now. And further back, National Image. This is relegated Gaelic Skipper to second last, and a length and a half to All a Dream. They swing it around the home turn now with 1,100 metres left to go. The first quarter of the last mile in 32.4, which is not exceptionally fast, and Thor Rate the leader. Reba Lord has come around the outside and gone up into second position as they get the bell. And a length back on the inside, Victory's Phil. Almeida Boy 1 out and 1 back as they come to the judges' box. Then Rufus Youngblood on the inside of the Cornishman. A length and a half, National Image. Gaelic Skipper is second last, and a length and a half to All a Dream. They sweep over towards the back straight now, and it's still Thor Rate dictating the turns, leading 3/4 of a length on Reba Lord. The New Zealander is the world record holder for 2,600 metres, so he should stay out the journey. The second quarter of the last mile, 30.6. Reba Lord trying to put pressure on Thor Rate. Running third on the outside, Almeida Boy. Victory still can't get a run. Then the Cornishman out 3 wide, starting to finish on doggedly. Rufus Youngblood gets off the rails, but runs into a pocket in the middle, followed by National Image, All a Dream. And Gaelic Skipper is last. Off the back now, and approaching the 300-metre mark. It's Thor Rate in front from Reba Lord by a long neck. Almeida Boy's hooking out 3 wide, still running on. Victory still now in the middle. All a Dreamer sneaking up along the inside, right off the track, Rufus Youngblood. And also coming down the outside is Gaelic Skipper in the home straight. It's Thor Rate the leader with 100 metres to run. All a Dream trying to get through near the inside, finishing fast, Rufus Youngblood. But Thor Rate wins it. Thor Rate wins it. Gaelic Skipper got home on the outside to run second. Close to third between Rufus Youngblood and All a Dream, which was hampered for room. Then Reba Lord. They were followed by Almeida Boy, Victory's Phil. Over on the outside, National Image, and the last one home is the Cornishman. And so Thor Rate, splendidly driven by Brian Hancock, who was beaten earlier in the night on Weona Chief, was able to guide Thor Rate to victory after going to the front from the extreme outside barrier. And look at Gaelic Skipper on the outside. He's come from last, and he's flashed up. That was a brilliant run by the New Zealander, Gaelic Skipper. But Thor Rate had too much in hand after the moderate pace in the middle stages, but Gaelic Skipper would have won in another 5.
Gaelic Skipper from New Zealand on 27 points, 4 horses on 26, All a Dream, Jane Ellen, Thor Rate and Westburn Grant. On 24 points, Kylie's Hero and Rockley Victory, and on 23 points, Whitby Heritage. 21 points, Reba Lord becomes the first emergency. And it looks a very even grand final on paper. I trust you've enjoyed the final round of heats here at Globe Derby Park. Join us again next Saturday night for a live coverage in all states except the Northern Territory and South Australia. Until then, bye for now.